got it. It's another summer night. How I'd love to feel those summer nights. It's one of those fucking like Muzak songs from my childhood. It's like a 70s like easy listening. You ever heard of that genre?
Yeah.
Such a shit genre. But every once in a while there was a good easy listening song. It's not often. Glenn Campbell, yeah. I'm not a big fan of that song. Southern Nights. It's just an eye roller, but it's a party pleaser of a song. I can't lie about it. I'll tell you it ain't. It's been a while since I've had a blunt. You gotta maintain a blunt or it gets runners.
And it's an infused blunt too, huh?
Yes. I told the dude, I was like, I'm gonna pass on the infused.
They sold you on it anyway.
He was like, well, so I'm telling you, man, these blunts, it's like we get them in, they go right out, man. People love them, man. They're smooth smokes. I haven't tried this one yet, but I've tried that one. It's like, all right, man, I'll try them, but I'm gonna come fucking kill you if I cough. All right, look at that, dude. That's such a beautifully maintained. See, look, I had a runner going.
Yeah.
A runner is when you start burning on one side but not the other, right?
Yeah.
And now I
Now
did
it's
my little
circling.
spit maintenance, and you can see it. It's cherrying up now. You let it torch for a minute. That's why people don't like smoking blunts, though, because it can be very wasteful.
Yeah.
All of that should be going through my lungs at least once, but yeah, no. Beautiful. I have a blunt rolled right now, too. Yes, sir. Good evening, Paul. It's like it's Modelo time. It is Modelo time again. I'm skating straight towards fucking straight up alcoholism. No. It just like I usually feel really shitty in the summer. And feel shitty this summer too, but I don't feel as shitty. And one of the things that used to help me not feel shitty in the summer was just sitting out by the pool or sitting out on the back deck, sit out on the porch, smoke a J, and have a beer or 3 or 4, you know. And I think it's a healthy thing to like pursue that kind of chill.
Yeah, you're not just like trying to mash your feelings with it. You're just trying to evoke that positivity.
I forgot we even had beers in there until you were like, "You want a beer, babe?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, I do." I need to buy edibles this weekend. I have to work overtime on Monday, and I'm not gonna be sober. Yeah, but I don't blame you. Yeah, get whatever you need.
Yeah, you're an advocate of the X tabs.
Yeah, well, I don't know if Abby's in Cali, but yeah. It's like X tabs. I don't like having to eat a big mouthful of like stale ass brownie.
Gummies.
Gummies that taste like ass. It's like, just give me a pill, man. That's what X tabs are. 50 mils a pill. Just burp, burp, burp. Get you in the zone.
Because you'd have to eat like a whole fistful of gummies to get 100 milligrams or whatever.
Nowadays,
Yeah.
dude, back in the days when I first met TJ, Scotty, and Ben, when I went to LA, I had the medical card, and this was before it was recreationally legal in California. But medical was everywhere, and it was super easy to get it, but none of them were California guys, so none of them could get it. I had it. So I told them, you know, they wanted to come with me, and I was like, it doesn't work that way, guys. I'm sorry. Like, they're gonna have to, all of you have to have a medical card to go in. They only let me in. So they were like, all right, well, I was like, what do you want? And they were like, get us edibles. And I was like, ooh, because at that time, it was all medical in Cali. So the dosages were way fucking higher because they didn't have to worry
they're for,
about
like,
it.
Cancer
patients or whoever, back patients.
Yeah, that's like where I think why they were made originally is for.
And I was like, guys, you guys realize that Cali gummies are not fucking fuck around gummies, right? We're talking about maybe 50 mils of fucking bear. Oh yeah, get a bunch of that. Get a bunch of weed. Get top shelf weed, dude. We don't even care. We'll pay you back. Top shelf weed. I was like, all right. How much you guys want? Get us like a fucking ounce. I was like, oh, I don't think I can get an ounce. I can get like a half O, and then I can get a bunch of edibles, or I could get a full ounce and nothing else. All right, do that. Half O edible. All right. So I got a mixed half O. Good primo shit. Expensive shit. Bought a gang of fucking like Sour Patch Kids, is what it was. Sour gummy bears, but they were fucking 50 mils a drop. Got a bunch of that. Got a couple chocolates if they wanted that. You know what I mean? I got them a mix. And poor fucking Scotty came in. He saw them chocolates, and he grabbed 2 of them. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. I was like, that's 150, 150, bro. Like, that's a heavy dose. And he was like, I'm good. Ate them both. I was like, he's going to sleep. And he sure enough disappeared about an hour later. He was fucking gone. But TJ, like Ben, the same thing happened to Ben, honestly. Ben started in on them fucking gummies and started just getting in the rotation with me and TJ. He went baba. Then it was just me and TJ, and we're mowing these gummies. I got a big fat sack of these fucking medical gummies. We're mowing them. Pimp Monk's there, trying to keep up. Pimp Monk's trying to keep up. Poor fucking Pimp Monk went in a coma that night, bro. That was just a bad night all around for Pimma. Because, like, we had just had that big meetup, right? Huge fucking success. That first meetup really established the tone. Like, we could really do this. Put on a show and the whole 9. And, like, we had offered Pimma to do... Oh, whatever. Who cares? That's just a kitty. Oh, D, come on. But we invited Pimma, and we knew he was gonna be there because I wanted to kiss Pimma because there was a meme about it on the show, and I had lost a bet. I can't remember what it was, but one of the things, one of my punishments was I had to kiss Pimma, and so we wanted to make sure Pimma was there. And then once we got him there, you know, before it, we were chilling with Pimma. And we were like, dude, why don't you give us like a hot 10 or a hot 15? We're going to be doing a little Q&A. Paul's going to tell a story that's basically stand up. You know, you could pop up on stage and warm up the crowd for us. And he was like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm more going to be. But at the time, he was styling himself as a comedian. And he just was sad sacking after that show because he felt, because like none of us came to him about it. He said no, and we were like, cool. And so like once the show was done, once the stage show was done, I remember he mentioned it to like one of us. Hey, what about that? I might do that. And he was like, time's passed, bro. Stage show over. We're chilling now. So it's like he grabbed the brass ring when it was handed to him to like go out there, cut your teeth, get a little juice with our audience. And then so that night when me and TJ were like smoking out super hard after the show, he was just inconsolable, man. Sad sacking it. He was like, man, I really messed up. And like me and TJ, like we're the worst kind of guys when it comes to like performance stuff, right? It'd be a whole different thing if he was like, nah, my mama died from cancer, y'all. I'd be like, fuck, Pimma, that's horrible, right? I got empathy for that. But if you're just like gonna sad sack about you fucking up or missing an opportunity or something, I'm just gonna give it to you straight. And so Pimma, I think he was trying to tee us up to go like, because I think Pimma, maybe he didn't know maybe Pima didn't know me and TJ very well, but like we're not dudes that are gonna pull punches about our craft. Like I learned that from Leonard Nimoy. I haven't done it since, and it's always served me well. If somebody asks me, I'm not the asshole that's going to give people feedback if they don't ask. But if somebody goes, "Hey Paul, what do you think of this?" I'm not going to chuff you up and tell you it's fucking good if I don't think it's good. If I think it sucks, I'm going to say, wasn't my thing, man, or sorry, bro, just didn't hit for me. I think you need to do more work, whatever. Right? And so Pima is like, man, I should have took you guys up on that offer, man. And me and TJ are sitting there and we were like, yep, you shoulda. He was like, damn, I missed an opportunity, didn't I? And we were like, yeah, you did. You got a whole willing ass audience or people out there filming. That could have been a big ass meme right now, get you a bunch of subs. You know, the whole fucking 9, and now you were just a fat guy that was there. That's TJ said that to him. He's like, now you're just a fat guy that was there. I was like, oh. But it was fucking straight up. It was like, why would you do that? You know, we had these dudes come to you, like help you. We had him flown out so we could do the kiss stunt. In fact, am I even thinking of the same one? I might be getting these. No, I am. The LA one, we did the kiss. I just thought I did.
The same one that you guys did
No.
at the strip club? No, that was a different one.
No, that's 3 different ones now. I did the Tommy from the Bronx kiss at the first one. That was at, well, the first one that I went to, which was the second one. God damn it, my fucking brain doesn't work. I'm so bad with numbers and dates, okay? Okay, my first meetup was the DP LA meetup. That was the first one. Pima was there. We had him there to kiss me. I kissed the catfish there. Right, okay, boom. Shakalaka waka waka, I think.
I can't help you, babe. I wasn't there.
I know, babe. I'm sorry. It's just my Rolodex has been broken on this shit for a while. It's a long time ago for me now, honestly. I've done so many shows between now and then. It's kind of like, not even live shows, but yeah, I've done a bunch of those and just like a bunch of like live internet shows. I'm just fucking like, I'm not the best history keeper of my own fucking shit, but did I even kiss Pima at that one? I don't think I did. I think I'm fucking up.
You gotta consult the other guys. They might be able to help.
I wish Pima was here, man. Pima would know. Somebody would know, man. Because I almost feel like I smooched Tommy from the Bronx and Pima on the same day.
Yeah.
But Tommy from the Bronx wasn't at the first LA meetup. He was at the first. But I didn't kiss Pima at the second DP meetup in the USA. So yeah, it must have been the LA one. I'm just getting my wires crossed because we've done a bunch. Kiss Pima. He could have gone up on stage and done his Hot 15 or whatever. I'm not saying it would have blown his career up, but it could have started something. Like our show at that time when I joined, they wouldn't have hired me on if that show wasn't growing and had buzz and had upward trajectory, right? They hired me on at that after that show. That night, they told Pima to go away, and Ben, Scotty, and TJ hired me as a drunken peasant, provisionally, for 3 months. At the end of the 3 months, they were going to evaluate me and let me know if I was going to get brought on with a more, like a year-to-year contract or not. And so I was stoked as fuck, man. So I made it out big because I showed up big at that. I showed up there, the venue was a piece of shit, didn't have the right cable to plug into the fucking laptop that I brought that was going to run the music. They said that they were going to provide a DJ to run the music for us, just somebody to hit play on the fucking playlists and shit. They just fucking flaked. So, dude, I saw there was a hardware store right next door. I said, what kind of fucking cable do I need? I went right next door, walked right over there, took it all myself. I didn't even consult the guys about it. I didn't want to bother them because they were planning a show.
Yeah.
Went and got the cable, went to Ashley and said, look, you're a DJ. And she loved that idea. She was like, yes. I was like, no weeb shit. No, you're going to play fucking industrial. You're going to play rap. You're going to play good shit. All right. A lot of Manson, a lot of Nine Inch Nails, a lot of Ministry, a lot of Kanye West. Keep it gangster. Okay. So I got it all fucking set up. I got the lighting. I set up the stage because they just had a bunch of chairs stacked on it. So I moved those off the fucking stage. Got our 4 chairs, right? Went and asked the dude, "Where's your mic?" "Oh, I put them in there. They're in a cabinet." I had to run the fucking mic cable along the ground myself. So I got us fucking 4 mics hooked up. Test. I did all of that shit. And it wasn't my job. That's what got me hired. That's the fucked up thing, right? The guys were like, "We're going to be honest with you, Paul. We weren't all in agreement that we should hire you until tonight. And it was your resourcefulness and like taking it upon yourself because you'd done these types of venues before to just get everything ready for us that got you hired. It wasn't really your performance on the show." I was like, fuck. Well, that's cool. You know, all right.
They're basically saying, like, are you willing to be a monkey?
Yeah. Well, that was the thing, is like, that's what my job was. It was like, you are going to be on the show. That'll be part of your job. You're going to get paid for that. Another part of your job is you're now the thumbnail monkey. You're now the editor monkey. So you better learn how to make thumbnails. I was like, dude, I've never even fucking... They were like, well, you're going to have to learn. I've never edited. You know, or I've done very little bits of editing. Well, you're going to have to learn. All right. So I was the guy that named stuff. It bloomed from there too. It was like that way when I was remote, when I moved to, because I had to get a pay bump in order to be able to afford to move to where they were in Bellevue. It was all of that stuff plus cleaning the studio, pulling all of the stuff and getting it ready for Ben. So all he had to do was sit down and go. Learning how he liked shit and getting it ready to go for him just how he liked it. Testing all the cameras before the show, making sure that the fridge was stocked, and if it wasn't, letting the guys know so they could give me some money to go shop and get booze, get weed. You know, make sure it was like livable for the guests. You know what I mean? And I didn't bitch about it or talk about it because there was nothing to bitch about. It was a privilege for me to get airtime on that show. And doing all that extra shit was just part of the job. It was easy for me to do.
Well, you've done similar shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, way harder shit. It was easy. You get it in a fucking routine. You know when the days you got to go in and get everything cleaned up and restock everything. It's just fun. You know? Seems like just yesterday I remember Paul in his yard talking to Captain Tree. Paul was a great guest on DP around that time, and I was very happy when he's brought on full time. Yeah. It was good shit. It's a weird thing, though. I'm starting to come up on my 10-year anniversary doing just content creation. My 20-year anniversary on YouTube's right around the corner, a couple years down the road. It's like, that's pretty fucking crazy, bro. Pretty crazy. But I wouldn't take any of it back, man. I never thought when I started doing YouTube, because I just wanted to do it as a fucking hobby. I did that for the first, 6 years I was a YouTuber. I just did it as here's where I dump my thoughts. Here's where I put my creative little tidbits. Here's where I do something when I'm bored. And I just fell in love with the medium. I really did. As soon as I figured out that I could talk to people live, I was like, whoa, okay. Because back in the day, with the CB radio shit, it wasn't just about trolling truckers. I thought it would be cool to be a radio jockey guy. That was a big thing when I was a kid. Not so much anymore. Nobody really knows radio jockeys or disc jockeys or whatever anymore. But I used to think that that would be a good job for me. Never pursued it because by the time I was old enough to think about going to broadcasting school or whatever, it was already a dead medium. People were burning CDs and downloading shit. Napster had been born. It's like, it's over.
I still have them, but it's more like you gotta work for a little news thing.
Yeah, and I thought about I haven't thought about it, but it's like, I've always had this thing in my head. I've got this movie that I'm probably gonna have to write one day, or at least try to, about a dude living alone in the desert who runs a pirate radio station talking to nobody, basically. And I've always found that imagery so compelling because I just had an experience when I was on my way back through the desert from Arizona. When I moved back, I was able to tune in on the AM band to a dude that was clearly not following FCC guidelines and shit. He was very much like cussing and talking about crazy shit and crazy government conspiracies. And I had a 3-hour long haul through the fucking dead ass desert. And I'd say for about an hour and a half of that, I was able to keep him in pretty much tune. And then he just started to fade out. And I was like, well, he's out. And I just remember looking out in the desert, right? And going, he's out.
Where the fuck is he?
Yeah, he's out there somewhere, right? He's got himself a little fucking land lease out there, maybe a mining lease. And he's living on it. And he's set up a fucking antenna. And he's breaking a bunch of laws, but nobody's caught him because who the fuck knows where he's at. And it's like, and I just have thought that that guy must have been so interesting, right? But a lot of people would just think, oh, that's a crazy radio guy. But he was saying fuck, shit, cunt. Like, he was saying all these words that let me know, like, this should not be on AM or FM band at all. And
satellite, was that a thing? Yeah.
No, well, not satellite radio, no. No, I was moving back in 2002 or 3, I can't remember which, 2, I think. And, yeah, no, satellite radio was a few years to come. But it was an AM, you know, there's AM and FM. AM used to be like the news, and then a lot of times around where I grew up, it was like Hispanic stations. They'd throw them on the AM band. So I was flipping through looking for some weird talk radio, and I found him on the AM band on a weird one, like some like fucking weird like number. And he was in and out quite a bit when I was going through, so he was deep out there in the desert. That's why I mean, like, out there talking and nobody's listening. And if they do, it's just briefly for a fleeting moment, and then they never know who you were. It's like something about that is compelling to me.
Have you ever tried tuning in again, driving through?
You know, I did a couple of times. It's just I don't usually cut all the way through to Phoenix, right? But the one time that I did go back to Phoenix, I remember it was during the day, though, that I was blazing through the desert, and I couldn't pick him up, you know. But it was also 2 or 3 years later.
Yeah.
So who knows if he got fucking shut down or died out there or whatever the fuck. The aliens got tired of him telling the truth. Yeah, it's like, but like that, there are people out there though, dude, and I'm not trying to flex or anything, but it's like, if you go to Twitch right now and sort it by viewers or whatever and go all the way to the bottom, you will eventually hit a threshold where there are people, and you can just go, it's pages, bro. It's actually kind of sad that are streaming for 0 people. Trying. You know, but just aren't making it, and it just like it actually is heartbreaking. You go because the pages go and go and go. It's not just like 10 people trying and not really getting it.
It's like hundreds.
It's hundreds of people desperately trying to be like streamers, just get one like, I remember there was this dude, I can't remember what his name was, but we were talking about this years ago, back when we lived in Covington still, and I was like, you know what, dude, let's fucking make this guy's day. Let's go find one of these small Twitch streamers, and everybody, let's go love bomb him and give him a bunch of follows and shit. So we found this dude that was, you know, playing a league, and he seemed like a nice guy, and so we jumped in there, and dude, it was like Christmas morning for him. Christmas morning, bro. He lit up like a fucking tree. Because it wasn't just like 1 or 2 people coming through and then leaving. It was like 100 people popped in. It was chill. But, you know, like...
They probably didn't stick around.
Well, I mean, I stuck around for a while because he was really interactive with the chat, and I kind of kept co-streaming him and shit. And he figured out who I was eventually, where he got shouted out from, and he went and checked it out, and he was subscribed to me, and we, you know, we had this whole like little rapport going on. So I stuck around because I wanted people to chill with him for a while, and maybe subscribe to him or give him a whatever the fuck, right? Give a dono or whatever he was trying to get. And but you know, I left, but he actually did get a big bump from that. Like there were probably, and maybe not, I mean a big in comparison to 0.
Yeah, like maybe 10.
Like I would see him streaming for 10, 15 people, and I was like, cool, you know, that's actually dope, you know. And maybe it wasn't all people that came from me, but people that saw him because there were a few people in there. He's higher up the list now, right? But just go look at it, bro. I mean, like, some people are just doing it for funsies. They're just streaming their shit so they can have like a record of it, because, you know, you can stream to Twitch and then it creates a VOD. Yeah. But it doesn't like tax your system as bad as like recording locally does. So a lot of people do it for that, but there's a lot of people out there with really cool setups. Looks like they spent some money like putting LEDs and stuff in their house and like making their room look nice, and like they've got like a really nice condenser mic, and they've got like a soundboard that they hit when stuff happens, and they've got lighting that's really nice, and they're clearly on a nice computer, so they've like invested money, like big money, and there's nobody watching. It's like, that has gotta feel fucking awful. But I would never.
Well, there's a different logic. I think, like, before, in the old days, you would just do it on your shitty webcam and laptop mic until you got an audience, and then you can start buying shit. But now people are buying shit first.
I mean, it was a long time before people started buying any good mics. Mics on old YouTube videos sucked. I was one of the first people I ever saw that had a condenser on YouTube, and now it's, I'm not saying I pioneered it, I'm just saying I was one of very few people in like 2008, I think is when I got my condenser mic and my little analog board. I was, and like people would always pick my brain about it. Like I remember TJ, when the first time we worked together on something, he wanted to know, like, what's your setup? So I had to send all that shit to Scotty, you know, because like he wanted a setup similar. And he ended up getting that setup anyway, because I moved with it, and he wanted it for, like, it was busted a little bit, but it still worked. And he liked it so much that he wanted it for his shit. So that was his first board, was my old board from back in the day. I think it's funny, but that thing was built like a fucking brick, man. It just wasn't gonna die ever. They don't make them like that. Like, these modern ones are kind of like planned obsolescence beasts. But those old, because it was, everything on it was analog. It had nothing digital. It was just all knobs, right? Most mics back in the day were legit ass and sound. Oh, dude, that's why, dude, because I'm such an audio nerd. That's why I spent, it was like $400 or $500, I think, back in 2008 for my hobby, which is, you know, back then was a lot of money for me. But to get my condenser mic and the cables I needed and the USB analog board, and I got that, plugged it in, figured it all out. And then I sounded better than anybody in the game for a while, pretty much. And I was doing it the way that people would do it now, but in 2009. Sitting in my room, condenser mic in my face, talking to my people. So. Thirst streams are sad, yeah. Most Twitch streamers get zero traction. That's what kind of put me off stream. Well, because, like, dude, this is one of those things that blows my mind, but when you talk to kids right now, when I say kids, I mean like tweens and below, right? And you ask them, what do they want to be? When I was a kid, it was an astronaut, or a police officer, or a fireman, or some shit like that, right? Or a general, or whatever, a stunt man, right? There was some like actual obtainable goal there for kids. Now it's, I want to be a streamer. I want to be like Kai Cenat. I want to be like I Show Speed. I want to be like, you know, fucking Andrew Tate. I want to make baller money sitting on my ass reacting to videos all day. And the truth of the matter is that there's about 5 of those slots available in the world, and they're perma-filled. You'll never get one. So there's probably, like, conservatively 1 billion people in the world right now trying to be streamers. And there's probably like 500 people in the world making good money being like regular streamers. That's setting aside porn and shit. That's its own thing. We're talking like people just talking to people, doing a stream, reacting to things, talking to their chat. There's probably 500 people in the world that make money doing that. Like, make enough money to support a family doing that.
Yeah, there was a poll in 2019, 52% of kids to 17 wanted to have a YouTube-based career.
Yeah. See? So it's fucking a little bit crazy. And like the only reason that I like am able to do what I do, well, there's a couple of reasons, but there really is just one reason. I started early. When YouTube started to do vlogging shit, I jumped on the train early and I kept doing it. And I learned how to do it over the course of years without it being my fucking job. It was a hobby for me. And I made connections with other creators. And one of those connections was a connection with TJ Kirk. He and I bounced our ideas off of each other for a long time. We made videos back and forth. We had fights. It was great. And, you know, he called me one day and asked for me to be on his show. Turns out it was actually Ben's idea. But, yeah. And the rest is history. It changed my whole fucking life. So I went from a blue-collar guy working a dead-end job in a really bad marriage to now a guy that loves his life, gets to work for himself, gets to do what he loves for a living, or at least adjacent to it, right? It's beautiful.
Dude, the boys, this is a survey of just 13 to 17. So 11% want to be a YouTuber / streamer, and then another 6% want to be professional gamers.
Oh my god, bro. Those people are fucking doomed. Just doomed, man. Unless esports blows up way bigger than it has, you know. If people stop like watching real sports and start watching esports on the level they watch like fucking like the World Cup or the Super Bowl shit or the fucking World Series, like if they show up in mass for it like that, then you know there's gonna be a lot of slots open for pro gamers, you know, maybe.
But even then, like a lot of them are barely gonna make shit.
Yeah. I don't know.
You gotta have fodder for the lower tiers.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I don't know, man. It's crazy.
Like the same with professional athletes. It's like they don't all have multi-million-dollar contracts.
Not from the start, no. I mean, if they become big names, eventually they do. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of these dudes that are second string or whatever, their names aren't really widely known. They're not paid a whole lot. They got to struggle for that place. They kind of drop back to the minors sometimes, get picked up by another team. Like, that's really common in baseball. Maybe not so common in basketball and football, but still common enough, right? You know, so.
That, you're banking on something where you're probably going to burn out by 30-something.
Yeah, I mean, though everything is there, right? There is massive interest in the Asian market for esports. Esports are already massive there. It just doesn't get its hooks in America yet. For some reason, Americans are not liking it. They're not wanting it. It just doesn't really resonate here. Games die out. Like, there's a lot of initial interest, and then it just... And it just seems like esports, I mean, they're bigger things now. Like, there are certain events that happen every year, like the International, EVO, that are huge, and thousands of people go to them and attend them live. But, like, the signs of it as a true sport really haven't taken root like I thought they would back in 2010, 2012. I really smelled it in the air that, like, okay, pro gaming is going to be a big thing. And it was. It's not as big as I thought it was going to, because I thought it was going to blow up.
And I think a lot of these big events lean on people that are also, like, content creators that talk and all this shit.
And, well, that's problematic, and that's been problematic over and over for the esports community. Is like, you got these fucking things, and then now he's accused of grooming somebody, and now your whole esports organization looks like fucking bad because their main guy was a groomer. It's like, that's part of the problem, right? Is like, it never escaped online scrutiny to the point where it broke out into the mainstream, because that same type of shit comes out about like wrestlers, football players. Most of the time it's just swept under the rug. Oh, allegations or whatever the fuck. But like in the esports arena, it was all online super sleuths. Everybody's fucking Sherlock Holmes, and nobody ever lets it go because everybody's fucking, well, I don't want to say it, autistic as fuck. Okay, there you go, I've said it. And yeah, I mean, it's like, it'll ruin your whole fucking organization. People will just turn on you Nobody wants to be on your team anymore because it's associated with that. It's pretty fucked. I don't know, bro. But I do think that steadily, and I think that as games get more involved and more fascinating, and like, you know, because I never thought I'd see a time when like grandparents are starting to play games, but fuck if it ain't happening. They got Switches, they got fucking, you know, they're playing their computer games, and they're like their fucking mystery games, and it's like, all right, well, here we go. So I think it's about, you know, I still think the trajectory is there. I just think the build is a lot slower than I thought it would be. No, it is a hobby. But like most hobbies, there is a competitive aspect to the hobby, right? You can have the hobby of being like a Warhammer 40K guy that likes to buy the minis and paint them up. But that doesn't mean you're ever going to compete at Golden Demon, right? Golden Demon is like the international competition for the best painting job on a Warhammer mini, right? So, you know, there's a strong difference between being a hobbyist and being a professional at something. It's like Magic, right? You could play Magic with your friends just as a hobbyist, or you could go to tournaments and try and fucking win money doing it. Play poker for fucking potato chips with your friends, or you could fucking go to Vegas and try and spin it big and make a career being a poker player, right? Ugh.
Just be careful with your neck if you do your stretches.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do any of the neck ones. I'm just gonna do my back ones and my shoulder ones and my back rotators and all that. My neck is too fucked.
You want to do the stretches with Daddy?
Okay. Wanna go inside, bud?
Probably do. I'm going in.
Okay.
Let Cricket out and see if they'll stop jiggling.
I doubt it. Cricket loves a jiggle. Yes, it's true. Cricket loves a jiggle. Shout out to Paul for holding it down for Pessimist Productions. All this insane news and hardly a peep from the Kirks. Oh, it's all good, buddy. Crazy fucking news. I get the feeling the news cycle is just going to stay crazy too. You want my opinion on it? I don't think it's getting any less crazy. I could use a breather. There you go. Take a breather. Not too long. I'll tell you one thing. You're gonna need your head in the game. Can't take too long of a breather ever. Any good Starbucks stories tonight, Paul? Good Starbucks stories tonight. Yeah, Uncle Paulie, tell us a Starbucks story. Bro, I don't know, man. I've told a lot of my great Starbucks stories a bunch of times, bro. Like, it doesn't feel great to tell the same audience the same story over and over, bro. Trying to think. Trying to think if there's anything that, like, sticks out. Like, really sticks out that I haven't told. I don't think so, man. I don't know. The sad truth of it is that a lot of those memories are starting to get kind of dim. Like, I was 20 years old when I got hired at Starbucks. I'm 44, man. So a lot of the shit that I would want to, like, think about or tell you about is from fucking, like, 20 years ago now. Oh my God, that feels so weird. I just had, like, a flash of that parking lot where that first Starbucks was at. Chandler, Arizona, right on Dobson and Chandler Boulevard, man, right on the corner. And to think that that was 20 fucking years ago plus, just had me a fucking Pepperidge Farm remembers moment, dude. From California. What's up, Trip? Dude, you gotta smoke with me tonight, Trip, because I've got another blunt. So I'm just telling you that you and me are going to have to do the thing that we do best together, friend. And when are we gonna do this in person one of these days, bro? When am I gonna get my fucking fat ass down to Florida, or you get your fat ass out to California? Because this is bullshit, Trip. I mean, I appreciate you, obviously, always, for the long distance smoke. But when are we gonna get in the room and fucking chief a big blunt, bro? One of these days. One of these days. I've got a little bit left of this little blunt I had earlier. Well, quite a bit of it left, honestly, and then I'll go get the other one if I'm feeling like it, man. I'll toast this bad boy up. You may not be aware, but I smoke a lot of blunts with you. Dope! Yeah, just me and Triplical have been smoking buddies since way back in the DP days, bro. Trip has been like a fucking denizen of the ideology. Come to LA. I mean, LA's not that fucking far from me. But, I don't know, man. There's not a lot in LA that could happen to me that wouldn't happen to me here. California knows how to party. California knows how to party. in the city of LA. It's true. Good old Watts. Whatever. We'll plan on coming to the West Coast here soon. Oh, shit, bro. I have to keep you posted on that shit. You know you welcome in the pad, bro. You just fucking gotta hook it up. Come on by. Sit on the porch with me and smoke a fat doobie. Maybe 2B. Maybe 3B. We'll have to see me. Visit Long Beach. Just hit the east side of the LBC on a mission trying to find Mr. Warren G. Smoking oil, wax, concentrates makes me feel like a crackhead, but with pot. Yeah. I get that because it's all like you got all these rigs and shit. You got this like big fucking Pyrex glass tube you're smoking. You're like hitting the glass dick all day. Yeah, it does kind of feel like that, doesn't it? That's why I just smoke weed. That's why I just smoke blunts and joints, and I keep it that way. I laid all them busters down, I let my gat explode. Now I'm switching my mind back into freak mode. Well, I don't know how that's gonna fucking work out, bro. Maybe. I might do like a Bay Area thing once. I've thought about doing a Paul only, Cali only meetup or whatever. Not Cali only, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna travel for it until it's a proven concept, but I could do a Bay Area fucking meetup, bro. Especially once I get moved, that would be simple as a pimple for me to fucking, you know, book out a joint, have you guys come down, fucking meet up, chill, hang out, you know. I've thought about doing it, but I just don't know, man. I like not being the only dude at the party, you know what I mean? Oh, that wind must be nice, dude. It is, bro. I'm actually thinking I might have to let my fucking umbrella down if it keeps this up. But I'm not bitching. I'm not bitching at all. Dude, the wind be blowing. I adhere to the tradition of alcohol. In the words of Frank Sinatra, alcohol may be a man's worst enemy, but God always told us to love our enemies. Oh shit, that is true. It's so hot at my job that I'm not sweating. That is crazy. It's very rainy over here. Made the temp go down. Yeah, oh, man, I wish there was some rain over here. I'd kill somebody for some rain over here, man. I want rainy weather. I want snow. I want a fucking storm blowing in off the fucking ocean. I want it all, man. I want it now. Okay? Now. Having a farm and a full-time job is rough in this kind of weather. Yeah, I could see that. I'm pretty high. That's nice. It's higher than I usually am, which is good. No, dude, not 2 stripping grannies. Don't tell me this shit, bro. I'm emotionally unprepared for that, okay? Right at this point. It reads like a voicemail from an old lady. Okay, fair enough. I have it in my mind now. I can picture the tone and timbre. The only person I get voicemails from anymore is my mother. Hey there, Peaches. It's your mama. Thinking about you and that beautiful wife of yours. Hope y'all are doing okay. Me and Steven are okay. All right, well, I love you, baby. Call me back. Bye-bye. Don't you just love living in the stripping granny timeline? Bro, the stripping granny timeline is... Dude, I'm telling you guys right now, we're in the cursed fucking timeline. Everybody's having such a great time, but where I'm like, dude, we're cursed. I bet there's a fucking timeline where we got flying cars right now. You understand me? Not that far from our own, all right? But we fucked up. Something happened. Something flipped. I think it's when they turned CERN on, man. I think we all got ripped out of their good galaxy and thrown into this gobbledygook, cockeyed fucking galaxy, bro. Or the Berenstein Bears or the Berenstain Bears. It's fucking crazy, bro. It was the Berenstein fucking Bears when I was a kid, okay? Not the Berenstain Bears. Harambe? Oh, you think it was Harambe. Maybe it was Harambe. I don't know what it was, Phoebes. But I'm telling you, at some point, we were all ripped out of the real reality and thrown into this cockeyed gobbledygook. That this Donald Trump is the president? And he's an American hero now? Oh, is that ever just... You ever just have a moment, man? Because I still do, and it's been fucking like 8 years since he was elected, and I'm still like, what? I mean, it makes sense when you actually look at the parts of it. Like the DNC rumple-fucked the voters to the point where, like, they just didn't care anymore, and they memed Donald Trump into existence. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. You ever think about this shit, man? Because it just makes my fucking head spin sometimes. And then Joe Biden, oh my God, Joe Biden intercepting Bernie. Oh no. The worst fucking timeline. And now it's like literally like it's like a Saturday Night Live sketch. They're like, Mr. President, a lot of people have been expressing concerns about your mental health. What would you say to those people to secure their votes tonight? Let me tell you something. I've been doing this a long time. Long time. And I'll tell you one thing that I learned, one thing that I learned is, well, anyway. Just like, what the fuck happened to the world, bro? What happened? Oh. Apparently some party of the elites years ago, Obama was joking and Trump, at least I have one thing you don't, I'm the president. What if that's what made him run? Yeah, that moment of disrespect is what made Trump want to fucking stuff it to Obama. Now he's done it, but at our expense. Dude, everything rests, dude, the entirety of existence rests upon the blade of a fucking knife, bro. A razor fulcrum. Could go either way at any fucking second, and I'm sick of it, bro. Yeah, thanks, Obama. Thanks, Obama. When you start, like, thinking about reality in terms of fulcrum points, you start to realize that there have been a bunch of times just in your lifetime where the very fabric of our reality has hung upon a razor's edge, right? One or two different decisions, 1 inch to the left, 1 inch to the right. You know what I mean? It all comes down to like the big fucking shuffling deck of cards, bro. That's why I believe in a deterministic universe, okay? We are all at the mercy of our influence. Let's just ride the wave together. Let's ride it as far as it'll take us. Yeah, Phoebes is going to list the ones that have happened in her lifetime. Shit definitely feels like a different timeline. It is. Every second is a different timeline. We're fucked. Yep, Trump election, Obama election, yep. These are all fulcrum points. 9/11. The subsequent war in Iraq and Afghanistan. The re-election of George W. Bush and the political assassination of Howard Dean. Hillary. These were all fulcrum points. These, any one of these goes different, right? Any one of them. And we're in a different world today. COVID. Yeah. Yeah, Bush v. Gore. Shit gets wild, man. You go back farther, it gets even more wild. Patriot Act, Afghanistani invasion, fucking, we're talking about the first invasion of Kuwait and Iraq. We're talking about that entire presidency. The one-term presidency of George H.W. Bush was fucking crazy. Clinton. Look like you could use a puff, Paul. Really? Okay. Hold that thought. Ooh. Ugh. Chair spitting truth. Let me tell you guys a secret. This chair fucking lies. You didn't hear it from me. This chair fucking lies all day. Republicans chanting "send them back" at the RNC and waving deportation now signs is spooky. Oh, it's all coming. Literally 1984. Literal 1466 again, bro. Dude, people's brains are breaking over this shit, bro. All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces. I'll make it to the daily races. No tomorrow, no tomorrow. And I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. Find it hard to tell you, and I find it hard to take. When people go in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world. Cringe world. All around me in the Twitter spaces, angry faces, angry faces, logging in to see the daily races. Everyone's retarded, they're all retarded, and I find it quite autistic. I find it quite sad that all these people typing, that most of them are bad. I'm not talking like bad, like they're bad guys, but they're not. They're bad at fucking typing. It's a very, very cringe world. It's a cringe world, dude. I'm just living in it, bro. I'm just one cringy fuck living in the cringe apocalypse, bro. I'm stealing some of that and writing up a song on my acoustic and that vibe. Go for it, buddy. Go for it. It's all yours. You can take it all. Cringe man in a cringe world. Paul is so high he entered a different plane of existence, bro. I transcended the fucking... Dude, I breached the divide. I am now fucking one with the universe, and you can't stop me. There's nothing you can do to stop me. It's all fucking meteoric from here, my friend. It's all straight up. It's a train that I can't get off, even if I wanted to, man. Straight to the fucking top of Paul's ego. Psh. I'm having trouble right now because I really want to go play RoboCop Rogue City. feel like shooting bad guys in Rogue City is going to be more fun than continuing to sit out here tonight. I've officially reached the level of stone where I can't be entertaining. I mean, dude, I can resist the impulse, but I'm just warning you guys. This level of fucking chill, mellow Paul after my Zazen and everything, and now I'm this high, bro. Like, you guys could say anything to me. Like, watch, try and make me salty. Watch. Try. I give you fucking free reign for right now. Everybody gets one shot. And see if you could even get me salty. Would you merge your body with TJ to achieve your ultimate form? You know what? Okay. Somebody won. Somebody won. I don't even want to tell the person who won that they won. But one of you has finally won. One of you got me salty enough to try and tap the ban button, okay? It didn't take long. But I didn't think it was going to happen. But one of you got me genuinely ban salty, okay? That's all there is to it. I'm not telling, dude. I'm not telling. I will not tell, dude. I'm not going to empower the fucker that did it, okay? But I will say, one of you motherfuckers was able to get through my defenses, okay? You went a different route. Okay, fuck it. I'm not... It was the dude that said, I don't care, go play RoboCop or whatever. That guy. He said, and he didn't even say he said IDC. He said IDC, go play RoboCop or whatever. I was like, you mother... So whoever that was, congratulations. Okay? You won the fucking battle. You got me salty as fuck. You did. That put me on the salt brigade, bro. That was the one. That's the funny one, right? That's the one that's like, it wasn't try hard. I just love how honest your heart was shit like this. Bro, like, why try and lie? People know when you're salty. People know when you're salty, bro. They knew, they saw me break. How am I gonna lie? Dude, he got me in the genjutsu, bro. There's 50 Vaushes punching me and hitting me with horse cocks. I'm in the genjutsu with Sasuke's older brother. Dude, I can't believe that guy refuses to debate anybody because of his horse porn lolly shit. He doesn't want it to come up. Like, he thinks it's just gonna disappear. He's like a kid right now that's hiding under his blanket because he thinks that's gonna make his mom go away and not make her get him out of bed to go to school. You know what I mean? Like, dude, the castle doctrine or whatever the fuck, bro, that's only in, that doesn't work on YouTube channels, bro. Like, he's built a big fucking dome over his community and he's just like, ban the words horse and lolly. You know, and he won't talk to anybody because he's afraid they're gonna drag him on the horse lolly, bro. They're afraid. He's afraid that they're gonna drag him on the horse lolly. And you know what? They are. But that's not going to change with time, dude. The first time he pokes his head out of the gopher hole, he'll be like, yeah, welcome to the welcome to Onion Nuggets, folks. It's been a few years. Things have simmered down since then, I think, on both sides. But we have Vaush here. Vaush, how's it going? Thanks for having me, my dudes. It is kind of strange to, come on a show again. Yeah, so, let's start, let's just pick your brain on something. How do you feel about little girls blowing horses? My dude, it's been many years since that folder was exposed, and quite frankly, I don't appreciate, that being the first question. I'm sorry. I'll ask a different question. Goblin short stack, can you describe to us what was in your mind? Actually, I'd rather not talk about horse lolly goblin short stack porn. Well, why not? That's what you're known for, Mr. Vaush. I mean, he's gonna have to suck it up. And really, like, all he has to do is just learn from his mentor, TJ, bro. When TJ got caught slipping a banana in his butthole, TJ made a video called Banana Gate, and it blew him up. All Vaush has to do is just write Lollygate, and that video is getting 6 million views. You know that video is getting 6 million views, especially if it's just him in long form going like, yep, I had some lolly, and yep, I had a lot of horse porn, and yep, I don't care. What I jerked my dick to is nobody's business. It was a stupid mistake for me to show it, but I'm not gonna pretend I'm not into it. So suck a big fat dick, you know what I mean? Like, it'd be over for him. He'd be huge. It would be huge, bro. It'd be the biggest thing, but like instead he's like turtling. Like, he wants to shit on me, but like ban me from everything at the same time. He's turtling as fuck, dude. And he doesn't even know that I'm gonna go the softest on him of anybody when it comes to the horse porn shit, because I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what anybody's jerking their little wee-wee to, bro. It's none of my business. As long as it's fucking like consenting adults or drawings, I really don't give a fuck, bro. I don't think it's the end of the world, but you know what I mean? He's gonna dodge out of me and he's gonna land right face first in the fucking cow pie, bro. Oh yeah, I did a bunch of AI porn and shit after being Mr. All AI is slop, don't support artists who do AI, don't look at AI art, blah, 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 blah. And then he's got a whole folder filled with it. Brrr. Yeah, he spent time railing against it. Yeah, I know, trust me, I'm aware, bro. Oh, fuck, bro. I'm like itching at a fucking mosquito bite and now I'm bleeding. Great, bro. Lovely. Should probably go clean that up. Give me a sec. Ooh, ah. Bum, bum. Told you. Told you about the chair. Chair called me a liar. Okay. You gonna believe the liar of chair? Come on. The truth, it's silenced. Yeah, well, he talks too much, okay? The chair does rock. See? Not very well, but he does. Stopped watching in 2019, recently started again. I really don't know who Vaush is. Once I knew he was a kid from 90210, I realized he was just a rich kid acting like a moron. Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much it. It's about how I would sum it up, give or take. Vaush is about as out of touch as a fucking person can get and still be considered like a mainstream success. It's fucking wild to me. And this is coming from a fellow out of touch motherfucker, okay? Someone said you're okay with CP. Whoever said that is fucking retarded. And you, big dog, should pull out your big fat dick the next time they say that, slap him in the face for me. Give him a mushroom stamp for me, bro. Give him a big slap in the fucking face for me, bro. Okay, thanks. Yeah. Yeah, next time you hear somebody saying that, you tell them to shut their fucking mouth. Come say it to my fucking face and watch me fucking dunk on them. Vaush, I just get a passport, bro. I'm rich and I can leave. Yeah, he is rich and he can just leave. And he probably will. It's his right to leave. It is his right to tuck tail. He's allowed. Vaush, just get a passport. Yeah, bro. I just hope he renounces his citizenship. Yeah, give up that citizenship, bro. Turn in that fucking passport at your new home embassy and get it fucking invalidated, bro. Get all the way out. Oh, man, I'm not ready to talk about JD Vance yet, guys. If I talk about JD Vance right now, it's going to be a dangerous fucking thing, okay? It's going to be a dangerous fucking thing. It's dangerous water to tread. Okay, I have a hot take on JD Vance. I have a hot take on JD Vance, okay? And I want to fucking preface this before I say it. And anybody that clips what I'm about to say without clipping this preface is a bitch and a punk and a low-life scumbag. Okay? And look, I'm learning about JD Vance. So my opinion may change, but right now, at least he's not fucking decrepit and old. Bonus? What a dumb take. Boo. I mean, it's something. The bar is so fucking low, bro. The bar is so low. He's fucking like middle-aged. Like a president should be. Isn't that okay? I mean, we can call that one positive. Is he running? He's Trump's VP pick. JD Vance. Go look into him. I'm learning about him now. I knew nothing about the guy until he was picked by Trump. And I'm learning. There's a whole ass movie about his life called Hillbilly Elegy that I'm halfway through. I'm really doing a deep dive. Okay, I'm watching the movie. Okay? And I'm halfway through the movie. He supports Israel. I mean, so does fucking Joe Biden. So does Donald Trump. So how's JD Vance any worse than either of those? So he's young. He's a young genocidal maniac. Isn't that an upgrade? At this point, isn't that an upgrade? I mean, I'm not trying to fucking clap like a seal for the dude, but let's be real. Like, I'm looking into him and I'm listening to him speak, and I was like, oh, he doesn't sound like a drooling retard. Cool. And he doesn't look like he's about to fall over from a coronary fucking myocardial infarction. Cool. He doesn't look all liver spotted and gray, and he doesn't stare off into the... You know? He's not like bright orange with a weird poofta on his head. Sweating all fucking fat under there, dude. Playing golf all day. He's like a fucking dude. Boring is no upgrade? I mean, whatever. I'll take boring, won't you? Don't you... Wouldn't you find boring preferable to this bullshit? I want boring. You know what? I'm gonna be fucking real with you guys. If we can't have, you know, a complete fucking unseating of the government and a rehash of the American experiment and a restart, right? We can't have that, which is increasingly looking like we can't. Then fuck it. I want like 8 boring years, bro. Can I get 8 boring years to go into my 40s and into my 50s, bro? Can the rest of my 40s be boring, please? That's all I'm asking, man. Give me 6, 8 boring years. Give me it. I want boring, man. Give me boring and competent, okay? Give me boring and awake. I'll take it. Give me boring and isn't wearing a diaper filled with doo-doo. I'll take it. Just give me boring, man. We need 4 fucking years at least of boring. Can I have boring? I'll take boring. Man, I miss boring. Shit in the 90s was hella boring, bro. The most fucking amazing thing that happened in the 90s, the most newsworthy thing was Bill Clinton getting a blowjob and blowing his nut on the front of a blue dress. No shit. Like, that dominated like 90 news cycles in the 90s, bro. We were bored as fuck. Dude, everybody was tuned into Court TV 24/7 to learn about O.J. Simpson because we had nothing else going on, bro. Politics were just at kind of like a standstill. Everybody was making kind of okay money. Not great. Could be better, but everybody's okay. And we're just bored. Dude, like in the late 90s, look what came out. Survivor, the most boring show ever. And look what it spawned. The most boring genre ever. Scripted fucking reality TV, and now it dominates. And it's still every bit as scripted as it ever was. It's fucking crazy, bro. You're so closed? Closed? What are you even talking about, bro? Yeah, dude, Howard Dean, who is probably the most progressive candidate for president that we've gotten in my lifetime, had his whole political career ended because he went, yeah, at a political rally. Like back then, that was weird enough to have your whole political. Now we've got like 2 rapists. One of them loses time all the time and goes like, the other one's got a big dump in his diaper. He's sweating and he's covered in orange fucking clown paint. It's a nightmare, bro. It's like there's 2 fucking. That's not even true, lol. All right, buddy. Hate speech, you're on notice, bro. The Eye of Sauron is on you. Say something salient or get banned out of my shit. Because every time I've fucking seen you tonight, you've just been saying something stupid. And a Cope and Sneed? Man, bro. What? Dave Chappelle's skit was hilarious. Oh, I didn't see it. I don't know which one you're referring to. Dean was a little centrist, but John Edward was very progressive, canceled for having an affair. I remember John Edwards too. I mean, Dean was like progressive in the sense he was a labor candidate. He was the only Democrat that was fucking getting endorsements from the big unions and shit, talking blue collar shit, talking blue collar like economic populism. He was poised to be a really good fucking candidate. And they killed him in the media for going, yeah! Yep, the yeah was an early YouTube meme, you're right. Can you guys imagine living in a world without processed food? Ooh. No nuggies, though? No Beyond Burgers? And Beyond Nuggies? I don't know, man. I don't know how I would do, bro. Which president do you think is the closest thing to Jeffrey Baratheon? Jeffrey. Probably like Andrew Jackson? No pizza rolls, no freezer burritos. Did you ever end up trying that vegan cheese? I did. I talked to Geegan Veins about it on Destiny today. Very briefly. I popped in to ask Vegan Gains, or Geegan Veins, as I call them, about vegan cheeses, and to ask Destiny about the Elon thing, and he just confused me more. I literally said, okay, here's my theory, right? Elon Musk has this, like, second account called Adrian that he pretends is this like Elon Musk impersonator, but he doesn't exist in real life, so that Elon can use that account and have plausible deniability if he says something stupid or something that would affect the stock price. And Destiny was like, that's level 1 of the conspiracy. I was like, oh my god, bro, what? Level 2 of the conspiracy, according to him, is that he knows that Elon is engaged in heavy AI research, and he thinks it's possible that this Adrian is an Elon Musk AI that Elon is using and training on X. And I was like, well, I wish I wouldn't have asked you about this because now I feel worse. Have a nice day. And I left. Because it's crazy, bro. Nobody knows whether that was Elon Musk, an impersonator, or an AI. I hadn't even heard the possibility that it might be an Elon Musk AI. See, oh my god, bro. I did. Bro, that was something I was telling Amelia earlier. I was like, dude, I've gotten sucked into the Destiny vortex, bro. It's like now I'm following, because he's just like in the news every day for something else. Like today he fucking dunked on Boogie so hard. I don't know that Boogie will ever come back from it, bro. Boogie was trying to like salvage this like cancer lie and come out like he wasn't lying, he accidentally lied, and like Destiny just came on and like held his feet to the fire to the point where like Boogie had a whole ass meltdown and tried to act like he suddenly cares about what Destiny says on Twitter and shit. It was fucking crazy, bro. I was just like, man, I've gotten sucked into this goddamn content vortex now. But that's why the dude makes so much money. There's something about him. He just he finds himself in these interesting situations, and he's very good at keeping his cool when other people might not. Who is Boogie? Boogie2988. He's a YouTuber that lied about cancer and had a big documentary made about him a few months ago. Yeah, you can go watch tonight's fucking episode of that Keemstar podcast, Lolcows Anonymous, or whatever the fuck it is. That's where I was watching it, bro. I think you glaze him too much. Who? Destiny? You think I glaze Destiny? I mean, I feel like you gotta butter somebody. If you like, when you're interrupted, when you're introducing yourself to somebody, like, you know, hey, here's how I know about your content. Here's what I know about you. That's kind of like an expected glazing when you're introducing yourself to another content creator, right? But other than that, I feel like I haven't really glazed. Unless you can, like, point out something else that I've said. Say there's a little glaze, like how? Destiny is based, why not? What's not to glaze? Okay, see? There we go. No, but I don't feel like I'm glazing. And there are still people, like, every time I pop in there, they're like, this dude is grifting. And it's like, dude, how am I fucking grifting, bro? It's like, I'm not even streaming right now when I popped in. I haven't clipped a single thing from any of the talks from Destiny. I'm just interested in talking to the fucking dude. People can't believe that that's a real thing. Like, yeah, like, I'm exposed to Destiny probably because I'm a content creator, but, like, that doesn't mean that I can't just do it for the enjoyment. I'm not looking to get a bunch of fucking subs off of Destiny or whatever. That's just retarded. If I wanted to do that, I would be like fucking hella clipping up every time I talk to him, making a big deal out of it, giving it, you know, picking like fucking, you know, clickbait fucking titles for it, like Paul schools Destiny on the police, Paul schools Destiny on Israel, blah, 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 right? But I haven't done one of those fucking things. I'm not gonna do any of those fucking things. So, like, I don't understand, like, where that is the one thing. Like, they can call me retard all day. Maybe I am. I don't know. I probably am. But, like, in terms of me grifting or whatever, I just have a genuine interest in Destiny and, like, picking his brain. I like talking to the dude. I thought that 5-hour conversation we had was, like, vigorous and fun for me. Maybe it was, like, painful for him. I don't know. But I found it to be fun. And so, yeah, anyway. I just think his brain is interesting. I like the way he thinks. I think he's effective, ironically enough, as an agitator, first and foremost, and always has been, at least from what I know about the guy, which is understandably little of his modern career. But I'm pretty well versed in Destiny's, like, old days shit, and he was definitely, like, coarseness in the conversation, a handful of sand in the conversation, an agitator. Somebody there that was there to create friction, you know. He's always been that in my eyes, and I think he still is that. And I find those types of people very interesting. It's the same reason I find Norm Finkelstein interesting, because people get very angry at the things that he says and the way he conducts himself. Find him to be a great agitating presence, and I feel like his overall message is great. Watching you talk to him was actually my first time watching him. I can't believe how much Vaush copied his mannerisms and way of speaking. Oh, bro, it's creepy. Well, that's the thing, is like, that was one of the first things that caught my eye about Vaush, was that, number one, he was talking to Destiny. I was like, oh, okay. And number two, that, like, he sounded just like the dude. It was like weird. It was like almost like he was doing like a. I used to think like the first few couple of times I saw Vaush like pop in or saw a Destiny clip with Vaush in it, before I was super aware of Vaush, I used to think he was like making a joke, trying to like impersonate Destiny or whatever. It's like his mannerisms, his manner of speaking, the words that he uses, his tone and inflection are all kind of just like cribbed straight from Destiny. Except for when he's talking to black people. When Vaush is, you can fact check me on this. When Vaush is talking to black people, he affects this kind of like down home Gusano kind of like accent. Well, hello there. When he talked to Brianna Joy Gray this one time, bro, you can go watch it. Like, he talks like, hello, my dudes, it's good to be here. But like when Brianna Joy Gray's on there, hey, how are y'all doing today? It's like, what? How are y'all doing today? It's me, Vaush man. You know, it wasn't that bad, but like, he was clearly like doing like code switching, but in a way that seemed like almost a little bit like suspect. I get it, it's the autism, but it's pretty fucking sad. Well, hello there. Why, howdy there, y'all. How are y'all doing today? Bro, come on, man. Can we not? One of his ex's eyes was black. Oh, I'm not gonna go down that road. That's just dirt slinging shit, dude. Like, there's plenty of shit that he does in front of the camera that's live that's worth shitting on him for. That you don't have to dig into his fucking... See, that's why it's like, him not talking to me is such a huge mistake for him, because the grilling that I would give him for the fucking goblin short stack lolly horsecock porn shit would be so light in comparison to some other people, because I don't care to capitalize on the hits or whatever. I'm not trying to bring him down or whatever in that way. Like I said back when that fucking story broke, like, is Vaush stupid for displaying that fucking, for even having pornography on his fucking computer, let alone that type of porn on his fucking streaming computer? Yes. Should it have ever happened? No. Is this why I want to see Vaush canceled? No. I want to see Vaush canceled for being a stupid, fucking shitty, bad advocate for leftism, a grifter, a fucking liberal in Marxist clothing and Marxist aesthetic. I think he likes to talk Marxism, but when the time to apply it comes, he likes to make up some fake Marxist reason why he's acting like a liberal. Like, that's why I want to see Vaush fucking fail. That's what I would like to see Vaush's career crash and burn over, not some moral crusade from a bunch of internet warriors. That a lot of the people that are like fucking hounding Vaush about it, methinks they doth protest too much, okay? It's one thing to make fun of the guy for being a retard, and it's another thing for just being obsessed with it to the point, right? All right, the Bard had a lot of wisdom to speak, and one of those wise phrases is, methinks the lady doth protest too much. Meaning, the way that you like position yourself is against this all the time and lead with that foot kind of makes me think you might be into it. He would talk to you if you were a centaur. Well, I mean, who knows? Maybe I am. I mean, have you ever seen me from the waist down? Think about it. Could there be a horse back there? Yes, there could. Dancing Granny went to bed. That's good. I'm glad. That stupid bitch. So I'm a Destiny fan, so I ask this with respect, but how come you seek way more, to be way more chill with Destiny than with Vaush when you're closer politically to Vaush? It's the way that Destiny has conducted himself so far with me. He's been direct and honest with me. I don't feel like he's jerked my chain at all. I don't feel like he's like consciously danced around anything or been overtly weaselly with me in the way that Vaush has been. So like, I come from an era where politics were secondary to like getting along, right? So like I was friends with people who had all kinds of different politics. My parents were like kind of like blue collar Democrats, but a lot of the people that were over at my house a lot, people I called my aunts and uncles, friends of the family, union friends, were Republicans or voted more fucking conservative on social issues and shit. And that stuff would come up and they'd argue about it. But it was always a hug and a handshake and a beer at the end of it, right? So like I don't have this like political litmus test unless you're a fucking Nazi. All right, that's where I draw my line. If you're literally one of these high and tight fucking white boy, white supremacist Nazi guys, you get no charitability from me, okay? But as far as any other political prescription you've got, if you're a conservative, you're a fucking lib dem, whatever you are, that's not the first thing I'm looking at. Like, so far in my interactions with Destiny, he hasn't come at me in a way that I feel like is overtly dismissive, disrespectful, or overtly weaselly to the point where I felt the need to fucking call it, right? And I think that's cool, and I'm trying to give that back, right, in our interactions. Where do you stand on black supremacy? The same place I stand on white supremacy. I think anybody that's waving a flag and claiming supremacy because they've got a different type of melanin or a different amount of melanin in their skin is retarded. And I feel like that they're part of the giant barrier that stands in the way of us fucking joining hands as a species and maybe surviving on this little fucking rock together as one, brothers and sisters instead of fucking foes. How about that? What about just pride in one's own race nor supremacy? I mean, it's a stupid thing to be proud of, bro. Like, what, you're proud your parents fucked? Is that what you're telling me? You're proud your parents and your grandparents fucked only white people? Is that what you're into? Is that something that you feel like you had a hand in? Because, like, I'm proud of certain things about myself. I'm proud of my resiliency. I'm proud of my ability to fucking stand tall when other people would fold. I'm proud of my ability to go into crisis mode when it's needed. And I'm proud of my ability to strike out on my own and make my own fucking living and never have to ask somebody for a fucking handout in my life, okay? I'm proud of those things about myself. And I've earned all of those things. What did you earn about your parents bumping uglies? What did you earn from that? I just don't understand racial pride. I don't get it. I only feel pride for the things I've accomplished, right? Like I would imagine most people do. You being born to black parents or white parents or one of each or Mexican parents or whatever the fuck you're born to, Asian parents, right? That doesn't change who you are. That doesn't, like, that's not something that you can claim as a fucking like achievement of yours or something, and I don't know why you would feel pride in it. Well, that's different. You have pride in your history? That's cool. You have pride in black history. Just pride in blackness. I don't know. Okay, I guess. I feel kind of the same way about a person that says I'm proud to be white. I get it. Black people have struggled. White people have struggled. People have struggled. Human beings have struggled every second of our existence since we first fucking came to this planet on a spaceship. Okay? It's all struggle, man. I'm not trying to undermine it. I'm just saying. What I said stands. I don't understand racial pride. When somebody leads with that, it tends to be kind of off-putting to me. But whatever, you do you. It's not, I don't have to live trapped in your brain. I just don't abide fucking Nazis, bro. Cheers. You can think what you want, dress how you want, believe what you want, but I can't do the Nazi thing. Don't like me a racist, man. I got very, very little fucking patience for a racist. So he's in the Hellcat. Pull up in a demon on God. Hellcat, cause I'm a hellraiser. These kids in their fast cars and they're revving their engines, waking me up. You smoke like it's a joint. It is a joint. Finishing this little piece of joint that I have. Cheers. Now I'm gonna smoke a cigarette and I'll show you how I smoke those. How do you become as cool as me? You can't. I'm not even trying to flex, you just can't. I'm sorry, dude. My coolness is a unique blend of like family upbringing and being born in the fucking 80s, bro. All right? Everybody that was born in the 80s and came up in the 90s, bro, we're all chill as fuck. We're all cool, too. We're hella cool. We just grew up at the right time, man. We got the right blend, okay? And you can't have that because you didn't have that. You know? It sucks, but I'm just trying to be real so you don't go chasing waterfalls, you know? They're just flipping it over there, dude. They're doing donies. They're doing donies over there, bro. Bro, it wasn't just stoner culture and ska music. It was also alternative rock. I was born during the peak of fucking what became modern rap music and R&B. And my parents exposed me to what was the peak of those art forms prior to them becoming rap and R&B, right? Like, it's just, my whole fucking life was cool, bro. I was meant to be cool. Okay? If I was meant to be a fucking dork, I would have been born in the 2000s, okay? That's the way it is. But I got born right at the right time, man. My egg got boiled perfectly. It's that nice, fucking buttery smooth yolk that's not all chalky. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, okay? I've got some wild ideas, man. What do you guys think? Okay, let me just put something out there. I'm not a scientist, okay? But what do you guys think about the increase in autism spectrum diagnoses, okay? A disorder that causes profound social problems, right? Or is typified by profound social problems, trouble empathizing, trouble carrying on conversations, trouble conducting yourself in public, right? Okay. Do you think that has anything to do with kids being raised with their faces on a phone or a tablet all day, every fucking day, and never learning how to talk to people? Like, do you think that, like, if you're not exposed to the right amount of parental intervention, people talking to you, people reading to you, and if you're just handed a tablet as a little toddler to like by the time, like, you don't get it, right? Because there are people out there that'll call me fucking crazy for saying that. Autism was on the rise before the internet blew up. Yeah, but so were screen time, as people call it, right? My generation of kids watched way more TV and played way more video games than any generation before it. And my generation of kids were exposed to the internet. I first started going on the internet at like 10, 11 years old. Okay, so I had a foot in both generations, man. So I'm telling you, go back one more generation, autism diagnoses were not on the rise. So what I'm saying is, it's like maybe it correlates with the amount of time that our parents sat us down in front of a TV rather than talking to us, or taking us with them, or engaging us in some other way, right? Not that that's the norm. My sister grew up online, was homeschooled, and she's genuinely one of the most social and confident people. Well, homeschool. See, that's like, I'm not saying it's like every kid, right? Obviously, not every kid is autistic, but a lot of kids have a lot of screen time now, right? I'm just saying that like certain kids don't get the right type of intervention from an adult at the right time in their lives. They're not talked to enough. They don't learn how to speak. And as a result of that, by the time they're teenagers, they're failing school. They've got no friends. They've got social problems. They're getting social promotions. Like it's fucking all bad, right? That's the way I feel. Because it's like, I'm not trying to back in my day you. I know this is boomer shit. But it's just like, going out at night with your friends was the only thing I cared about when I was a teenager, right? The idea of sitting at home with my dick in my hand watching anime or some shit was like fucking like hell to me. I wanted to be out so I could be face to face with my friends, people I didn't know, meeting people, partying, drinking, socializing, maybe getting some fucking play. You know what I mean? Like that was like everything. Not just to me, but to like everybody in my world. And now I feel like a good portion of that, and maybe you guys can correct me, younger folks, but I feel like a good portion of that has moved online, right? And now it's like not as necessary to go out, and maybe it's more expensive too to go out and shit, right? Yeah, going out to drive around the town squares now, hopping on, yeah, I mean, like Blackstone Avenue, it's not very far from where I live now, here in Fresno. That used to be like the main drag, and we would do cruise. We would call it cruising, and it's something that's old. They used to do it in the 50s. You get in your car, you turn your radio up real loud, you like roll your windows down and kind of hang out the windows. You're driving by and scope out chicks, and you holler at people, and you know what I mean? And I just feel like so many people's interests are just so focused on things that allow them to sit in one place like we're doing now and just do this rather than like interact with people, right? And I'm wondering if that has anything to do with it. Because like I tell people, like let me tell you guys the thing. Is it common for you guys to get like a tent together and go camping as kids? Is that something that you've ever done in your childhood? Like, hey, mom, dad, we're just gonna get the tent. We're gonna go up in the fucking woods and camp. All right, be careful. Is that a thing that you've done like as teenagers? Not as like 20-year-olds, because I know you guys think that's a kid now, which is another crazy thing we can talk about, but we're not there yet. You're weird. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be weird. Not in the backyard. I'm talking about like go up in the woods or go out to the fucking wherever, to the river, something, right? And set up a tent and you stay overnight and then you bring the tent back. Like I used to do that shit all the fucking time as a kid. As a teenager, without no parents or anything involved. We just fucking like, you know, we were on notice. We couldn't destroy any of it. We had to bring it all back. We had to tell them like where we were gonna be roughly, and then we just go camp. Used to make fires and roast weenies and smoke weed all night and drink and get fucked and you know, I don't know, that was just like what people did. Or it was like a party every fucking weekend, twice a weekend, right? Every weekend, right? Like Friday night was a party, Saturday night was a party, right? Maybe even Sunday, and you just said fuck it and fucking went to school all fucked up on Monday, right? And it was like big fucking get-togethers of kids your age, kids in your fucking school, like in the 4-year age group, right? All drinking, all smoking, all partying, all getting into trouble and shit. Like, and it was every weekend. It's all you lived for it. Like, you lived to be in the room with people. You lived to be, like, out with people, drinking with your bros. You know, fucking trying to pick up chicks, listening to good-ass music, and fucking getting on the dance floor, and then fucking getting high, and then hearing about your friend in a fight, and running out there and rumbling, and then, like, picking your friend up and dusting them off and saying, fuck it, man, and throwing on some good ass music and fucking down in another, it was like every fucking, it was like every weekend. It was all we lived for as teenagers was like, what are we doing, man? What are we doing this weekend? Where's the party at this weekend? Whose house? Whose parents are out of town? Where are we fucking setting up a cake? Where are we doing it, dude? Because I can get this, I can get that. I'll bring my fucking sack of weed. I'll bring the weed, you bring the beer. Like that's all it was, bro. Dipping and ducking from the cops, cutting through the park, running through the park, smoking down in the park, having little like mini parties with our girlfriends down in the fucking bowl in the park. Just like, I feel like that's not where most kids' heads are at nowadays. I feel like their shit is like, dude, I can't wait till I get home so I can get on fucking Fortnite. Can't wait till I get home so I can get on fucking Roblox or whatever with my friends. Can't wait till I can get home so I can fire up my stream because I'm gonna be a millionaire. And it's like, where's there room or time or interest at all for like face-to-face socialization or whatever the fuck is. That's all I'm saying. People still do that. I feel like you have a bad serving size of Gen Z, most of your interactions. Yeah, that's true, right? But I've seen it in public a lot too, man. I've seen a lot of kids in situations where as a kid, I would be forced to be talking to other kids or talking to adults, where kids are just like in a line at the Applebee's waiting for the food to come, and every one of those kids has a tablet. Or they're sharing a tablet and they're watching some Disney movie on the tablet, or they're playing some fucking little Roblox game on the tablet, right? Like, I see it everywhere, so it can't just be that, right? It can't just be that, because I'm not just judging it off of my interactions with people in this space. I mean, obviously, the people in this space are gonna tend towards terminally online. I'm talking about what I observe when I'm in public, when I'm in a place where the people bring their kids, right? Like, I see less and less of kids running around being little hellraisers, and more of them sitting uniformly like this. And I'm wondering if that has anything to do with the plethora of social problems that we're seeing emerge. Like the plethora. Like, people can't talk, people can't do a job interview, people don't know how to clean up their fucking speech in public. Like, they talk just like they talk at home. People don't know how to approach other people. You've got this male loneliness epidemic where men can't fucking riz good enough to get a fucking woman anymore. So women are just being more selective because men are just quite frankly, some of y'all undateable. Fat, sweaty, dumb. It's like, okay, what are you offering then? It's like, I was fat my whole life and I've never not had a relationship. I've been single maybe 6 months out of my whole fucking life.
Your adult life.
My adult life. Right? And it's like, I'm not even bragging about that. I'm just saying, it's like, the reason that I didn't have problems with that is because I knew how to talk to people. I knew how to approach a girl. I knew how to talk to a girl. I wasn't trying to find some group of other men on the internet who had boners and couldn't find a woman to stick it into. That type of shit, if that had existed back then, I would have been repelled by it, not drawn to it. And it's just that is so different from what I remember as a kid, And I had a pretty broad group of friends. You can't accuse me of oh yeah, well maybe you just hung out with other kids that didn't have social problems. I knew kids that had social problems. I had a whole friend group of kids that had social problems. You know what happened to all of them by the end of high school? They got girlfriends. They went into high school nerdy, talking about Doom and fucking Quake all day, talking about Ultima Online all day, playing Magic the Gathering all day, nerding out all day, and by the end of high school, they'd all gotten laid or had girlfriends at least, or were on their way to it. And it's like, you know? Now you've got men that are like 30 and they're still waiting for that magic moment, but they don't know how to talk to a woman. They don't know how to approach a partner. A lot of them are pent up because they're sexually repressed, like about their sexuality. And it's just gotten so bad that like a lot of them are just like giving up on even trying, which is the only guaranteed way to not get laid, by the way, is to not try.
And for some people, the dating app thing just isn't gonna work.
Well, that's another thing. I've never used one, right? I guess technically we met on Instagram, but we didn't use it like a dating app.
Yeah, I didn't swipe on you or whatever.
So that doesn't really count, but technically kind of. I know a lot of people hook up off of Instagram, right? They meet on Instagram or something like it. But like one that's specifically tailored towards like, are you sexually attracted to this person off rip? Yeah. No, no, no. Of course a lot of men are going to get passed if that's the paradigm. Mm-hmm. Women don't like eat with their eyes like that. Men do, unfortunately, right? It's just a difference between men and women. Not all men, not all women, obviously, but I'm just saying as an aggregate.
One of the things I did for a while when I was doing like this little tasks, like providing ratings for these little dating profile photos.
Oh, yeah.
So it was like, a few cents for each one, and it's like, they're judging you not just on, like, how you look, but like, do you look like a douche? Do you
right? Do you look like you've got money? Right? Do you look like you've got money?
Yeah.
Do you look like you're broke? Yeah. Do you look like you stink? Right? But it's all boiled down to like just a snap judgment on a human being, and that's not how people met in the past. It wasn't like this whole like Disney idea of love at first sight. It's really not how it works. People become friends, and then they fuck, and then they get in relationships and have babies. That's how it's always worked. And that component being taken out of it and skipping straight to the let's fuck part is kind of like short-circuited the sexual market, I think.
And even if it's like, oh, well, I'm using this to meet someone and then we'll fuck, it's like, but it's still ultimately like appearance first.
Right. You landed on them and they landed on you because of a superficial swipe that you made. Not because you heard them at a party and thought their laugh like was like a bell, or like they made the way they giggle makes you fucking tingle all over. Or, they talked, you weren't really attracted to them at first, but then you talked for 6 hours and now you just want them because you felt a connection. You know what I mean? Like that is not going to happen with you just swiping on the fucking thing. You don't ever have the chance to have that real human connection with a person. And that's why there's so many lonely fucking dudes. Because
let's say a girl does swipe on you and like you start chatting on the fucking app. When you meet in person, you guys don't know each other's little quirks and shit.
Well, that's the second layer to this shit sandwich, is that a lot of these dudes that are part of this male loneliness epidemic are socially awkward. A lot of them, more and more, are living at home in some capacity or in between employment or whatever the fuck. And it's like that, you have to think of like, I hate that it is this, but you have to think of human sexuality like what it is. The reason that those birds that build that intricate nest and do that dance do that is it's a sexual display. It's showing the female, I'm virile, I'm young, I'm smart, I'm efficient, and I can be the father of your children. Now, a lot of people like to add a bunch of layers onto that fucking pie, and I'll admit our consciousness does add a few layers, right? But at its core, it's the same thing, right? A woman is looking if she's looking for a man, she's looking for a provider. She's looking for somebody, ultimately, that can take care of them in some capacity. It doesn't mean they're looking to mooch. It means they're looking for somebody that's going to hold up their end of the bargain. Men are looking for somebody that looks like they could squeeze out a bunch of babies. And it looks like it would feel good making those babies. That's what it is at the fucking core of it. That's why it works. And if you're not partaking in part of that, You're doing nothing. You're not making any kind of display. You're not building the nest. You're not doing the dance. It doesn't matter if you're the fattest bird. What matter? But you build a badass nest. Or you're the fattest bird, but you have the best song. You can talk. Or you're the fattest bird, but you got the best dance moves. Whatever it is, right? You got to focus on one aspect of that courtship ritual to find a woman. And if you're not doing any of it, all you're doing is putting a picture of your fat, greasy moon face and hoping somebody loves you at first sight. You're never going to find a woman. Ever. Like, look at this. Right? And that's what she sees. And that's all she knows of you. She doesn't know your sensitivities. She doesn't know your beliefs and your passion. All she knows is, of course she's not gonna fuck me. I'm dead in the water unless a woman is around me for a while. It's just like, man, dude, you miss 100% of the pitches you don't swing at. 100%. I'm not saying like go ask everybody out, because that's another part of fucking social awkwardness. A lot of these guys are like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna do what they tell me, and
they're just wearing it on their sleeve.
Right.
Like,
and now every woman is like, you want to be my girlfriend? Do you want to be my girlfriend? It's like, it's not how it works, bro. It's not how it works. It's like not having any sensitivity to that is beyond me. I just saw people that struggled socially, but they got it because they were in the soup all day. They had to learn it to navigate it. They weren't allowed to be cloistered off in a weird internet community where everybody talks about the same meme all day because they're all obsessed like you are. It's a different fucking thing, bro. How to have Riz when you have a stutter. Riz is not always just about talking, man. You might have a stutter, look good. Think and be deliberate with how you talk. Be self-aware but not self-deprecating. And work on your stutter too. Most stutterers can vastly improve with speech therapy and practice of different things. And you know this as a stutterer. So work on it. Get better. A little bit of a stutter is not the end of the fucking world, Chief. Oh, man.
What's the matter?
I'm just gonna cramp in my leg. I speak super fast when I'm nervous. Do you think it's super obvious? I haven't talked to you, so I don't fucking know. But yeah, I mean, you should, if you know that there's some tick that you have or something that you do in public that people find worrisome or confusing, you should work on that thing. So if you tend to speak too quickly, get too excited, work on speaking slowly and this is the most important thing, work on listening. A lot of times people with social problems, when you socialize with them, it'll be a big giant thing where they just want to open their entire life to you, and that's a beautiful thing, but that's not how people socialize. It's about give and take. You have to learn to play the ping pong match. It can't just be you serving and dunking on people all over again. If you do it that way, nobody's gonna want to play ping pong with you, man. Destiny was a stutterer. I think I remember him talking about that back in the day. And he developed a number of ways to cope with that stutter to keep him from doing it. And he does that. You know, there's any number of people, like Joe Biden. I do believe that he was born with a stutter. I don't believe they made that up. I just think they used it as cover. But go look at him in the 80s and 90s and 2000s. Dude spoke great. Barely bumbled. Barely ever stumbled. Barely ever stuttered. And worked his way to the top of the fucking shit. So like having a stutter thing is very socially awkward because people make fun of you for it. Nerves can make it worse. So if you're nervous every time you open your mouth with somebody, you're gonna stutter more. You have to work on all this shit. You really do. Quid pro quo, Agent Starling. I tell you things, you tell me things. Why did you run away from the lambs, Clarice? Was your uncle a bad man? Did he molest you? No, he was a very decent man. Quid pro quo, Doctor. Billy only believes he's a transsexual. Billy's believed to be a great many things over his life, I'd imagine. His pathology is 1,000 times more terrifying and more savage. Listening is the best thing. If you're just waiting for your turn to speak, people know. Conversation is about flow. If you can't flow, it don't go. If you're just talking at somebody and waiting for your turn to speak and not looking at them and rolling your eyes when they're speaking and then looking back and just going back to another, that nobody's going to talk to you, man. You have to learn to listen. From what I understand, learning to listen is a big part of fighting your stutter. Slow down, listen to what other people are saying, and speak once you're done listening. Helps a lot of stutterers. So does he thrusts his fists against the posts and still insists he sees the ghosts. Wishing you could run, run, run far away, all the way to the FBI. Read poetry aloud to yourself. I have tiny stutter. Yeah, you can do that. You just have to work through it. Also true in theater, being calm and delivering with confidence is very important, yes. It's a subset of a communication skill. You're not going to be a good actor if you're not a good communicator outside of acting. Those two things have to be melded. They cannot be separated. You have to know it. You don't necessarily have to practice it, but you have to know the rules of being a good communicator in order to be an effective actor, especially a stage actor. Maybe movies are different. I've never really made movies. But a stage actor has to be a team player, has to learn to ride the wave of give and take between their co-performers and the audience. It's a very, very unique feeling. And it's very addictive. Do you think they could make another Hannibal Lecter movie with Old Man Hopkins? Yes, I think they could. I think he's got one last Hannibal Lecter performance in him. I think they should probably be working on that, though, because he's getting pretty old. Too old, some might say. Alright, anyway, I'm gonna fucking call it a night because reasons. I'll see you next time. Bye.